Hello again, guys, and welcome back to the Electrolux, rebuild here. And we are gonna what we're gonna do is put our bearing back on the main shaft here. So this piece goes on first. There's actually two of these. One has a kind of a nick in it. That is on purpose. We're going to leave that last because that goes on a certain way. You'll have to just see it. Anyway, this goes on first. And I believe it goes on this way, this bearing. Now, if you put it on, you'll find out very quickly that it doesn't want to go on. But as you've probably discovered when taking it off, you need an actual gear puller to get into this thing, to get it to move, because it will not go anywhere without a gear puller. Now, to get this thing kind of back on again, we're going to have to hammer it on. That's the only way I can think of. We've got some pliers here. I know you're probably thinking, what the heck do pliers have to do with hammering? Well, just wait and see here. Put them on top. Oh my gosh. Put them on top here. I'm just literally doing this on the floor. Putting them on top here and just going like that. I think we're on. We're starting to be on. Yeah, we're not coming off, so that must mean to some degree that we are on. Now, let's just kind of keep going at that. Actually, you know what? This should be done more kind of here. Oh, there's so much grease on this stupid thing. You know, maybe that was a mistake putting so much on. But what's a guy to do? Shoot, I think it is moving. Yeah, it is definitely moving. I'm gonna have to clean all this stuff off once it's on. Whoa. Yeah. I'll be back. Alright, so we've learned some interesting lessons here as we've gone along. What we've done is we've got our bearing on, and I'll just flash a picture of what the positioning of said bearing was on screen now. What you were just looking at is when I took it off for the first time. Now it's back on. And we've got these kind of, I was debating washing them out, but I don't think I'm going to. I believe these are the fan turbine type things. I honestly have no idea what these are called. But these things definitely do all the wind generating. Wow, that was really bad. The suction generating there. That's definitely what these things are for, and there's a whole stack of them that go up this shaft here. One thing I kind of made a mistake on was some of my hammering techniques. I originally used this needle nose pair of pliers here and just kind of hammered the ends of them, and as you'd imagine that kind of bent them out of shape just a little bit, but I was able to correct that for the most part. Otherwise, I was using a rubber mallet, and yeah, a bunch of rubber shavings came off that. I should have really just stuck to the hammer the whole time. I thought the mallet might, you know, less of a risk of scratching stuff, but anyway, rubber shavings came off, and they went in our bearing. It doesn't seem to have affected it. It just seems to have turned the grease black. Not sure if that's any good. Yeah, our grease is literally black. Okay. Or a very dark blue. It still works fine though, so I guess I'm just going to leave that because I don't really have any better ideas. When disassembling something like this, something that needs to be hammered apart in one way or another, or some type of special jig, put it together or whatever, pay very close attention to the position of said bearing. I know we just finished talking about that, but I just figured now would be a good time to highlight that. Make sure you know where that is on the shaft, roughly. You know, maybe not the exact, like, down to the exact centimeter, but I'm pretty sure I got it pretty close in there, so it should work. We're gonna see what happens next. Yeah, I don't know where it's going from here, viewers. We're just kind of rebuilding it and seeing where it goes. All right, well, we are back again. And I have just put the motor in the case here, and I've found out that the top of the motor here, it actually screws to the drum, which is said drum is the device that actually, you know, does the vacuum effect. And it actually goes through, I don't know, this was such a gong show getting this thing back together, because I thought that you couldn't have this piece and the other side of the motor attached together before you put it in the case. So I had to reach around both sides of this thing to try and get it together. Unsuccessful, only to find out that you can push this through. Those metal springs there, they actually go through the top of this hole here. There's just a hole here, you know, and then this grommet fits over it, and that goes in there. Anyway, that might seem like a very insignificant detail to you, but for me to get this together, you know, it's just a case of watching very closely how this stuff comes apart, because oh my goodness, I don't even want to imagine the horror of having to reach around both sides trying to align the thing to get the screws in. You almost need 4 hands to do that. But anyway, Electrolux wasn't that cruel in designing it, so they actually put a fairly decently good design together here. And you know what? This rubber is in fantastic shape. Like, it's nice and it's got a lot of suspension here. I mean, it's not moving much now because it's all tight, but you know, it's nice rubber and it's old. I don't need to replace any of it because it all works fine. Okay, so we actually got the entire thing together, and we ended up testing it for the very first time and pulling the whole thing back apart again. You know why? More or less one reason. The motor actually ran really well. I was surprised. It made no weird sounds really. You know, the thing got nice and warm. It was all hunky-dory there. But the problem was there's basically no suction with this thing, which is literally the entire purpose of the vacuum cleaner to begin with. So the motor can run as well as it wants, but if there's no suction, well, what the heck are we doing? So the only thing that I can even think of that would cause this particular problem wouldn't be any of this gear on the floor here. Maybe there's something down the hose somewhere. I have no idea. I don't know if something is stuck up in here. It doesn't look like it is. We just go to the other end of this. I don't know. There's all these little gauges and all this stuff on this end. I have no idea what this stuff does. Maybe I should have played around with this before taking the whole thing apart. I don't know. I don't know what that wheel there does. And you can plug this in, and I think, I'm not sure what this, I think this thing can, oh wait, oh yeah, okay, this gives power to this here, which is where you'd plug the actual, I can't remember the name of it, but the other attachment, we'll call it that, where you've got that long pole, and then you've got the brush, the spinning brushes on the floor, whatever that's called. You'd plug that into here, and that's plugged in via this cord. And there's this mechanism in here. I think that's just the latch for this. But yeah, it doesn't. I don't know what this gauge does. Maybe I should have played around with that before taking it apart. From what I can tell, it makes no difference to anything. Maybe some of you vacuum cleaner guys would know. It wouldn't have anything to do with where our cord goes in here, and it wouldn't have anything to do with the very hollow case and the basket. I mean, so what you're looking at here is basically all the main outside stuff for this vacuum cleaner. It's all very basic. I was kind of surprised how basic this machine is, but yeah, there's not a heck of a lot that's inside this thing. It's mainly a motor, and then all this stuff goes in to make it look fancy and somewhat functional. I don't think it would have anything to do with this. There's a bit of hair in there, but honestly, that should be sucked up. That shouldn't even be... Yeah, okay, here's one problem area eliminated. It's definitely not this, because if it was, this would basically be entirely clogged. But since the vacuum has so little suction, it can't even pull its own hair out of here. Nice. Okay, yeah, I don't think it's the hose either. I'm thinking it's the... I don't know, I guess we could shine a light in there and see what's going on. So that's about as much as we can get from that. And it doesn't look like... There's some debris caught up in there. That's just hair, though, from what I can see. Yeah, I don't think that's our problem area. I'm pretty sure our problem area is what I'm calling the fan can. Now you've got the main motor shaft spinning on here, and it spins really nice, actually. Look at that. That's pretty decent right there. But this thing, listen to that. It's rubbing up against the sides of the can, at least one of the blades somewhere. You can hear that. One of the blades in this can is rubbing up against it somewhere, so that's definitely something. That's definitely something that is going wrong with this, because this thing, these blades aren't really like adhered to the shaft, if you know what I mean. They're kind of free spinning on the shaft. They're not like screwed it to it or whatever. They're just riding on it. See, look at that. The shaft stops, but they keep spinning. They're not really attached. So something, I'm guessing that, is messing this up. And then I didn't clean these blades either, simply just out of kind of pure laziness, honestly. Because I figured, it'll be fine. You had suction before. Well, you know, you never know with this stuff. I should have cleaned that beforehand. And I'll hopefully try to be more... Other than that, viewers, I can't really think of what would be wrong with this other than the blade hitting that. Or maybe I put it together wrong. I have no idea. Okay, so yeah, we're actually going to take this apart now. So these guys just come off like that. They're held on, you know, there's that kind of loop under there, and it goes along here, under this lip there. And then this just snaps on. That's a very easy design to take apart. Yeah, see, look at that. I gotta give Electrolux credit on that one. We're gonna take our can apart here. I know I didn't show myself even assembling this thing. Oh, shoot. I haven't shown myself assembling a lot of this thing. Just because, once again, just wanting to get the project at least off the ground and not just sitting around for another week or two. I just kind of want, you know, very, very quick, how should I say? Just trying to be quick with this project. So here's our one, okay, so here's the top. There doesn't appear to be anything in there going horribly awry. Here's our first blade. Now we're gonna unscrew this thing. Oops. Use pliers to do this. Well, that's the wrong type of plier, I know. Using the wrong types of pliers, yours is how you scratch stuff. But we're not going to worry about that for now. I believe that washer goes on there somewhere. Okay, so there's a washer that came off that. And we're going to just pull this off. I'm wondering if there was another washer that went in here somewhere. Yes, viewers, there's a few parts of this vacuum cleaner which I have no idea what some of this stuff does. There's this piece here, and there's that washer in there. And then there's this long piece of wire here which goes with the switch, but we'll talk more about that later. I'm not sure what that goes to. Anyway, does this go, maybe this washer goes here somehow. Oh yeah, that definitely does. Okay, that might be a problem, or that might be one of the reasons why something's not working with this. You know, washer's not being put on correctly, or at all. Does this have anywhere to... Okay, there's that area there, which is full of grease, which is good. And this area here spins fine. You know, look at that. So our bearing repair, I would say that was successful. All we did was just add new grease to it. Perfect. Why are there metal shavings in here? I hope something isn't grinding up on something else. Oh no. Why are there metal shavings in here? That doesn't make any sense. What the heck? Did I somehow screw up this arbor? Oh my goodness. Okay. Did I put it back together wrong, I wonder?